Hello there everyone, and welcome back. It's time to put the Asuryani behind me, and as much as I love the sheer burst potential and torpedoes that they have to offer, it's time to move over to what I am ecstatic for, that I'm kind of been waiting for a while, and that's going to be the Tyranids. I've been having a lot of fun trying to figure them out in my streams every now and then, and hell, I am definitely going to put a real effort into trying to figure out how the tentacle type fleet is going to work, if it has any real merit to it, to be fair. But with the patch that was last Wednesday, Tyranid Pyroacid has had a substantial buff, and it's probably the most simplistic type of style out of all the Tyranid type of fleets. Almost on the same course, I almost would treat these Pyroacids, especially on the battleships, to be equivalent to that the Mega Cannons on the Orc ships. The playstyle is very damn similar. Only difference, of course, is my ships are far more expensive, but they trade off their high power for a lot faster rate of fire and still a ridiculously high critical hit chance that adds an additional fire result every time I get a critical effect of some kind. It is absurd. It makes me wonder if it's even bugged with the few matches I played so far. For I don't think, in case you haven't watched my stream video, I don't think 3 Krakens are supposed to nearly solo a Drukhari battleship. To be fair, it was a torpedo type of battleship to give you context, so it wasn't really well equipped to deal with 83 armor Krakens anyway. But still, I don't feel like that should happen and have a ridiculous amount of fire results on it as a result, I suppose. But it is pretty simplistic. I really am trying to actively think on how to cut out one of these hive ships for kind of a more balanced roster, but at the same time, the firepower and the fact that the hive ships now have health regeneration to them kind of makes that tricky to do. A really damn difficult prospect, unless I want to rely on broadside attacks. I can't really think of much else aside for the mobility, which, with how simplistic this fleet has been so far, mobility isn't really a big factor just yet. But it's still only early. The second rank season is only a week. We're only like a week through, so that's likely to change, without a doubt. But it's been fun so far, so let's see how they do in actual combat. Huh, interesting. We're going to be getting the same opponent I had in my warm-up game, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know what their mindset was, since they tried to poke out with a Grand Cruiser to try and identify my ships, and left everything hidden in gas clouds for almost the entire match. It was a little bit strange, but it could have been fatal if I took the bait, without a doubt. Thankfully, it wasn't much of an issue since I kind of devoured that Grand Cruiser quite effectively with the sheer amount of fire results and the morale damage it was kind of taking as a result. So I don't know honestly what to think. My opponent had a lot of patience with that said. So I do need to be cautious of maybe seeing that again. But otherwise, important things to note, and I apologize if this is really loud. Thankfully, the YouTube recording, I do turn down the audio a little bit for the Tyranid sound, so that should not be a huge issue. But what I'm going to do is just have the Krakens, these 2 Krakens grab points, and then I'll have these other ones kind of spread out trying to potentially looking towards getting to the middle of the map. Since ideally, I do not want to give away where my flagship and hive ships are all at. Since with the capture mechanic change, that's really easy to do. And I have Void Lurker, because the critical hit and the fact that I'm getting so many fire results as is, I kind of am forfeiting the Drool Cannon, as promising as that would be for more fire results. And just going with the raw Pyroacid damage potential itself, as weird as it may seem. Otherwise, everything get going. And the only thing I'm going to do, since let's see, I am not hearing my ships rush. This is really weird inconsistency I've been noticing. Since when I've been playing against Tyranids, hell, I'm pretty certain even some of my matches, you can hear my ships rushing. So I'm kind of deliberately not doing that. But when I'm not hearing it now, this current moment, it's making me a little bit curious if my opponent can hear them or if I'm just missing out on valuable momentum. I could be getting further closer to the map that's much more faster if my opponent can't actually hear these rushes. So there's some weird inconsistency, or maybe there was some hotfix that maybe turned that off, the audio cues, I'm not sure. I need to actually play against Tyranids again to know for a fact. But right now, I'm going with the mindset, the same kind of mindset as Eldari or anything that relies on stealth, to try and not give away my position. Unless I absolutely have to, which I could potentially be. That beacon. My cruiser might get spotted, my battleships should be safe. It's really hard to say. Actually, I want these Krakens there. This is going to be the middle point. And no, I don't want you going just yet. We're going to try and avoid detection as much as possible. And actually, I should prioritize critical components too. Engine components are a must for hunting these down. And I can't remember. If it's the exact same fleet, it would be what? 2 Grand Cruisers, maybe an Emperor, and 2 Lunars, I think they were. They were either Gothics or Lunars. And thankfully I do have the chameleonic skin to at least conceal myself really damn well here. But you grab this point, secure it, and we'll have these guys hanging back. Patience is a virtue. Especially since, was I just revealed? Not quite. Oh, just one was. Now, let's see. Oh, torpedoes are a whiff, are they? But there is lance fire. Those are probably the Gothics or Lunars there. Come on, dodge, dodge!
You have seized a strategic area.
Chameleonic skin could do something here. Oh, you changed to Dominators now. Interesting.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Sadly, I have no point defense on these Krakens. This is the one time I kind of wish they had point defense. I will be perfectly honest in that fact. But we are going to get the objectives quickly enough. All their ships are here, so this is just a lone little Mars even.
Area.
Okay, I should have known that from the dang fighters, but okay. I'm just thankful my opponent decided not to solid run. They saw blood, and apparently it's not going to pay off. I just want one more Pyroacid hit. I got it, but it didn't give me a fire result. I take that back. Ooh, the asteroid belt did it for me. Now, everything's concealed, so we can kind of secure these really damn well. Especially against a single Mars. It's still a question if there's other frigates around to worry about getting spotted carelessly, but I'm not sent anything. So I think I'm in a very comfortable position. I do have to hold fire. I don't want to give away my position just yet. Until we know what to prioritize. So Armageddons, so we have a bit of an odd mix here. Lots of lance weaponry, if that goes without saying. And that one's an Armageddon too. No! The beacon did reveal me, but again, chameleonic skin, that's convenient. I just gotta make sure I'm out of reach for it to really matter.
You have seized a strategic
Hold fire.
area.
You can start contributing. Nope. Run! I know you can regenerate health, but I'd rather you not take damage if I can help in any manner at all. I may have just made a big mistake there, letting my cruisers potentially get spotted. But I have 3 objectives. I'm very comfortable right now, just abusing my stealth. And hell, my Krakens are doing well here. This may be very underwhelming. My opponent does not make good use of... Well, this has no torpedoes, so I'm not really worried about my Krakens dying anytime soon. And I should be using my Spore Field. That is something I have to keep watching like a hawk. Ooh, permanent engine destruction. That was damn luck. That thing is all but dead. Now we're just going to fly behind it, minimize damage potential. That was a lucky break. And in theory, that Armageddon, that Mars could deal with my Krakens with the bombers ignoring armor, the lances, and a good Novacan hit, but not today. Again, this is going to be a very underwhelming match. I might as well oblige them right now, especially since my cruiser was identified. Kind of like I was suspecting, with the Kraken kind of trying to run away fruitlessly. But they did good, and this is what I'm talking about the critical hit chance. Good God. It's a little bit absurd. Although, I guess with what? 50% critical hit chance, 40%? Oh God. I have the shields for it, so I'm not too worried, but you can see how ridiculous this is being. I almost don't need the dual cannon, as low as I am to admit it. Actually, Let's just jump on out. Can I board? Just barely out of reach, but the flagships is intact. That's the main thing. You really do need to consider these Krakens kind of similar to that of Onslaughts, potentially even more dangerous than Onslaughts, since they have the 83 armor all around, just lack a point defense, since they dealt with one cruiser really damn well. It is not in its ideal firing arc alas, but it's damn effective nonetheless. I did talk about how three of those Krakens practically took out a Drukhari battleship, almost took out a battleship, and I was pretty confident before I launched on the second Drukhari battleship in that match, would have been able to solo it if my hive ships weren't there to support it. So yeah, that's all she wrote, I suppose. All the fire assaults are causing ridiculous mutinies, I gotta say. It makes me kind of wonder if I want to go with Psychic Scream as one of my abilities. Although, there were no torpedoes, the Disruption Bomb did not hit very well, which, it goes without saying, the Disruption Bomb is essential to a dodge, since I rely so much on avoiding bombers, and even just surviving the onslaught that's going to come afterwards. But this is kind of what I mean by this being relatively simple fleet at that too. And the change they made with my frigates automatically detonating whenever they die too with the Spore Explosion ability. But you can manually control it too, which I'm going to demonstrate some. Just keep slowing it down, keep burning their combustion gauge. And this also stacks. Look how slow that poor little Armageddon is. Again, it's absurd right now. It makes me wonder if there's a bug or maybe they've been overbuffed. Potentially. Although, with emergency repairs easily able to negate a lot of fire assaults, it really comes down to being able to disengage effectively. But I feel for them. That is not a pleasant fight. You would have to go for the killing blow. You can't really drag it out unless you can comfortably keep out of range. But with the hive ships already having 13,000 range, that can be a tall order to do if you still want to do damage. Poor fella. That gotta be frustrating, since as soon as they get in range, I'm in range of firing acid on them. But you can dodge the macro cannons to a limited extent. The big question is, if I were to have reload, could you dodge the my Pyroacid when they have like less than 3-second rate of fire, for crying out loud? That's the big thing to keep in mind. Okay, Adeptus Mechanicus. I do have really good shields on my battleships to weather a little bit of the Nova cans. So, good use of being patient with my rush and trying to minimize the damage with the shields might be a good idea. Hell, I'm tempted to just get the... What is the dang supercharged force shield for Tyranids called? I honestly can't remember, but I'm contemplating if I want to do that and maybe use my hive ship as bait. Kind of draw out a lot of those shots. Void Lurker is amazing for that as well. Uh-oh. Here we go again. Is this the one that was all light cruisers? I have no idea. I have no idea what this reference is, and I worry about it a little bit. Otherwise, I gotta remember what my groups are. Because I want these Krakens to grab the individual points, so that way... There we go. Again, apologize if that's incredibly loud. It should be fine though, hopefully. And we'll have these guys grab the objectives, everyone else position themselves well. And I do need to remember to use my dang, what is it? Spore field. That's going to be important for dragged out or drawn out type of battles. And these Krakens could die really quickly if they get identified needlessly. Gotta be mindful of that. Alright, 4. You rush. And that time, it did do a roar. That's what scares me a little bit. Why does that seem inconsistent? Sure, my first match may have been ridiculously easy, but conveniently, my opponent has a lot of Gothics, or Dictators. I'm okay not grabbing points, but I gotta be mindful where they're going. I'm not gonna try and grab anything with my main fleet, but it's gonna be tricky to grab points, at least the middle of the map. So how do I best want to approach this? Without a doubt, going straight for my opponent. That is without a doubt what I want to try and do. And I think all these fighters... Let's see. Upgrades. No upgrades on that thing. And I did mark it. I did prioritize engines, did I? It looks like it. And we have 5 ships of some kind too, so... Safe to say, all cruiser-style type of fleet. And so, again, so long as they don't see these things, I'm fine, but I gotta at least get some spore fields down. That has possibility of giving away my position, though, if my opponent pays attention. Now we gotta micromanage this pretty well.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Keep an eye on the objectives, sure. See the Krakens, I'm fine with that. Although, I am starting to get lanced down. It sounds like. They're hitting, that's fine. Is it possible for these to actually dodge the beacon? Probably not unless I rush. And I didn't want to rush with both of them, but that gives away my position some. Now, what do I do? Well, just get in proper firing range, so... You're in the spore field, so that's convenient. Although, why are you not taking damage in my spore field? Is there a mechanic with the spore field I'm not aware of? I question this a little bit. Oh, you got the asteroid upgrade. No, you don't. How the hell are you immune to my spore field? I feel like I'm getting robbed. I'm getting horribly robbed here. This could be a frigate kill, and I'm not getting it for the life of me. But if I can ram you, that would be great. Didn't quite get the ram. But it has the mobility to dodge pretty well. At least, so there is that.
You have seized a strategic area.
And I am going to effectively have 3 of these objectives, and you survived. You are probably marked, though. Oh no, you're stealths. No need to panic. Let's have our fun with this little frigate. Just gotta kill it before it can mark again, because this is the perfect range for it to actually hit me. And alright, fire results, so... You see the one hive ship? But I see your Nova can, so I'm not too worried just yet. And I do have shields to take 2 full Nova cans dead on in the center, and 4 on the edge. Now I gotta remember when's mark. I need to pay attention when the mark falls off so I can take advantage of that effect. Ideally. Since everything's kind of marked right now. But they're handling the hits really damn well. Just gotta get more support in preparation. Well, that's not gonna hit me. Not in the slightest. But I am gonna get revealed, so... The element of surprise is lost. But I do have foil lurker, let's see. Then fall for the ruse. Yep. Sadly, I did lose a crack in there, didn't I? And I have the shields for this, I just need to support quickly. And let's see, let's correct this issue with vision. Although this is not going to be the most effective. If I can get in front of it, that's not a big deal. Just get in front of them. Deny them their ideal prow arc, especially with these spore fields in the way. Let's just not get too carried away, though. I could do a lot of boarding damage, but I did just let my flagship go in point-blank range. But I'm hitting everything. This should all be good. Should be. in theory. I didn't take any Nova Cannon damage, I just gotta blink into a better arc now. There, mutinies, burn everything. And preferably melt the flagship. Since unfortunately... Aww. That's a shame. Oh, why such hate for Tyranids? I very rarely even see Tyranids in general, and it seems like it's so easy to pinpoint where they are, but maybe that's just because I'm used to the blind fighting, or maybe my opponents are recklessly giving away their position. Since we've had videos where I've had good luck spying them, so I don't honestly know what the issue is. It can be brutal without a doubt. But Pyroacids is not popular just yet, but I feel like with the patch change, they are going to make a resurgence of some kind. I just don't know what longevity they have, because again, I feel like these Pyroacids now are technically Mega Cannons in comparison to Orcs. Almost in the same manner as well. Instead of super high critical hit chance, they do 2 critical hits essentially when you do get that crit. And they have better accuracy as opposed to ridiculous damage in close. Okay, Chaos. And what is it? Just standard cultist type of Chaos too. The Lost and Damned I believe they are, so we don't have to worry about very unique type of Chaos abilities, which narrows down what I could expect at least, to a limited extent. I wonder how they taste though, considering they're nothing but hollowed ghosts, at least the Space Marines are at this point. Everything else look like they're still fleshy and edible, especially the Lost and Damned. Although I guess if we're going to dissolve them, there's not going to be much flavoring left to them. We're literally vomiting on them, which does not seem appetizing. Not in the slightest, if I were to be honest. But we're going to vomit on them nonetheless, because that's what Tyranids do, especially Pyroacid Tyranids. And I do like the idea of just having one frigate grab 1 point there, since again, it does point out where my hive ships or even any of my cruisers are, if I had them try and grab any of the objectives. So I think that's an important factor, although I think I'm going to fixate way over here and maybe have one of my... Maybe I'll have this one frigate way over on the right to maybe see about grabbing that point. And then potentially just have these 3 look into grabbing that objective. Is what I'm thinking on. And these guys just hang back, and as everyone deploys they should. A little bit. If only a little bit. I just gotta be mindful of lances, because they are really damn effective at dealing with my Krakens, especially if I get marked for like 45 seconds. If they're all Acrons, I don't even think my Krakens will survive that onslaught, so I need to make sure only one ideally gets marked for when I push for that middle objective. Actually, I don't kind of want you over there because the objective's in the way. There is again. That is really weird. I wonder what caused that. But at least that is working to what I have in mind. Sort of serve as a little bit of misdirection. Slightly. Since they don't hear everything moving. So if I have a nice clump move in one specific area, I could use them as a very effective bait. I like the potential for it. I just have to spend more time with Tyranids to really flesh it out though. So where's our flagship? Way over on the right. And we have frigate there. And where's that beacon going? Judging by heading, it's going to be somewhere around here, probably this gas cloud. If not a little bit above that gas cloud. But if I could get these 3 points, I'm in good shape to just sit there and let my opponent come to me. I gotta remember this cursed thing though. It's really important for grabbing objectives, or at least just punish them for when they get the objective. Again, we kind of seen the stacking slow effect after all. Ah! That was not what I wanted at all. I kind of overshot my move order a tiny bit. Although maybe I should not have rushed with this one if my opponent's actually listening for that kind of indication. Oh, no, I'm completely wrong with the heading. I'm gonna get spotted in a moment here. Which is kind of okay, so long as everything else is out of the way. Oh no, it's still going. It's going slightly, but it remains to be seen if it's going
The
to
enemy
stop
has seized
at
a
any point.
strategic area.
It's when it stops that I'm most afraid of, since it's going to double its deployment radius pretty good. It's still going. I was really overshot. I was really bad at guessing where that beacon would go. But I should be at no risk of getting spotted and identified at least. And everything's still hitting. We'll have these pretty damn soon. And what is that? That's a frigate. So I'm just going to let them mosey on by and then steal a point behind them. I'm in no rush just yet, although I am letting these crackers be at risk of getting identified.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
And you guys probably just make your way over to the middle. Since I might need you more for these cruisers here that are just hiding the
You have
objective.
seized a strategic area. You have seized a strategic area.
Now let's hold fire and get ready to munch on our prize that's hiding in the asteroid belt. They could suddenly be all light cruisers. That is a possibility, and my opponent just would have immediately decided to salt run. Which would be kind of clever, but at the same time, would not be very fearsome, since Hellbringers are not the most potent type of close-range fighters anyway for that such maneuver. What was identified? I heard the pulse, but was anything identified? Nothing was. So I'm wondering where that pulse was. It's a good sign for me to an extent.
You have seized a strategic area.
Oh, I got them really paranoid. They are so damn paranoid, that thing is not going to do anything. Now, we're going to do something. Okay, I think I'm going to double up on this. Am I doing this wrong? I kind of want to explode on them. And really stack up the slow effect. Not getting the slow I would have liked, sadly. There are a lot of ships, though. But these are only Hellbringers. Again, they are not the most scary thing. I just gotta avoid getting rammed carelessly. Now, can we do the damage necessary? Our fire is getting spread out, but at the same time, we got a lot of frigates here to help intimidate these things. I'm not really worried about Hellbringers. They just might be annoying still. And I don't think I can focus fire because Tyranids only shoot at what's closest to them, which may be a bit of a problem. But boarding these things and hiding them, I messed up with the void stalking. That's a bit of a shame. That was a real shame there. But how are we doing on this front? That Hellbringer's all but broken. There's a lot of frigates here. Just gotta make note to go after that cruiser pretty soon. That's there. That I am afraid of. It's a slaughter at that too, so it's got a lot of damage potential going for it. And if possible, maybe kill off... Start killing their ships. And since, yeah, their engines are getting critically hit, a spore mine just been shot there. It's probably going to slow down that one murder. And the flagship is all but dead. It just doesn't realize it yet. Now, they are conveniently turning, but they are conveniently turning into my boarding. Oh, all sorts of fire. But so much for my Kraken here trying to slow him down.
You have accumulated
And how's things going here?
55% to strategic points.
That thing is going to survive, but the other Hellbringers all sorts of screwed. Those Krakens are amazing. Kind of like why I love the Savages. They just require being a little more in close. Hell, I wonder, should I seriously go to reload? I'm gonna have to look into what's potential more damage, but these fire assaults are guaranteed 90 damage anyway. There, that's all she wrote there, I want to say. Just gotta make sure we do what's needed. I wasn't hoping to ram, because that hurts me quite significantly with that rush. If I'm gonna ram at all, I want to try to avoid having it be the rush speed that causes that ramming damage, since it hurts so much. But these guys I'll happily ram with due to their 83 armor. Only criticism I have for this is I messed up a little bit with my trap, trying to snare them down and stack that up. Since with how damn slow the spore fields can be for trying to bait it out. That would be my big criticism there, but you can see how simplistic things can be if you can get the jump on your opponent. And the fact I got them so paranoid they thought I was over on the east side of the map paid out well to get the jump on them. Sadly, it was again a lower ranked player, so that strategy is not going to work very often. And hell, Dark Fleet. I'm wondering if that's even one of the pre-built fleets, is it? No, it's not. It's their own fleet they made, I think. It looks like it anyway. But hopefully as I get my rank up, things should get a little bit better, because these matches have been really damn one-sided. Hinting what I'm saying, Pyroacid's probably going to make a big resurgence. Oh, this is going to be completely different now. I don't know how capable my opponent's going to be at playing with the Asuryani, but I have good shields to deal with the pulsars really well, but if they have torpedoes, my hive ships are a big liability potentially, just because of their bulky size and they take so long to turn around if I'm going to use my rush. So I got to really see those torpedo runs coming ahead of time. Since it has been a while, I think, since I played against a proper Asuryani fleet, let alone on the YouTube channel. I can't even remember when's the last time I played Asuryani, in all seriousness. But it's what we're up against nonetheless, and I am ecstatic to at least give us something that requires more effort. Maybe. I'm not going to jinx myself, because I might get disappointed. Since we see where they are at all times, almost exclusively, unless they have a couple light cruisers. And I do want to make sure these hive ships are almost never revealed until I'm ready to jump on them. These things can die so quickly, even with the point defense still up. So I gotta make good use of these Krakens to be distraction. And with the critical hits, they could do it. I do want to make sure that my groups are set properly so it's a little bit easier to control. Now, let's see, group 4, group 5. It's going to be tricky to grab anything in all honesty. I kind of want to go straight for the middle, with that said. It's looking like the ideal position to be. I do have a couple of fighters, but it's kind of weird with how they deploy. It takes so much time, so I don't know how much I can rely upon them. And it looks like we're dealing with maybe Phoenix, and my Krakens are silent again. This is really weird and it terrifies me, because it's making me tempted to try and rush recklessly to get to the middle of the map, but I don't know if my opponent can hear them or not. It's the big problem. And that's what scares me most, in all seriousness. But I'm going to take my time regardless, and at least try sprout these, and they do have a frigate of some kind. I gotta make note of that, even though I absolutely hate the Asuryani frigates because of how expensive they are for how easily they can die. And I wasn't paying attention, that could have been a Phoenix, and it's going the right direction too. And that beacon is going to be intercepting my Krakens. So let's begin our preparations to turn. I don't want to launch fighters in all seriousness. I'm a little bit reluctant to launch them for fear of giving away my position, but they're coming right for me. So it's not going to be as convenient as I like. But maybe I can ambush the fighters here, if I'm lucky enough. And again, I don't know if my opponent hears these rushes or not. It's really
The enemy
weird.
has seized a strategic
Sits-
area.
And I'm gonna get spot, but at least it's not the flagship, so it can serve as bait. So at least I got that going for me. So you're identified. We'll try and kill off these fighters some. And as I said, use that for bait. So torpedo pulsars. I'm assuming that one may be a Phoenix. Maybe.
The enemy has
At least one of
seized
them is a Phoenix, I
strategic
want to
area.
say. Yep, there is a Phoenix there. So we got a good opportunity to do some
You have
damage.
seized a strategic area.
Now, is there any way maybe I could slow them down and really terrify them? Because I could ram these exceptionally well. Engine critical hit, I like it. I'll take it. Sadly, something died. I wasn't paying that much attention, alas, so that's a failure on my part. But so far, so good. So keep on ramming, although I rammed myself. That's not so good. And we're doing good damage on this thing. If we could start killing these off... Oh my god, that thing just melted. My opponent just panicked and lost control. They couldn't deal with the demands that was required of them. So can we kill them off? I gotta remember what's rushing. Because that was a bad rush. I think that thing is dead, and the spore fields are gonna seal the deal really damn well. So you're dead. You're not quite dead, but you're really damn close. Oh, I heard torpedoes. Where are they? I could deal with those, and thankfully, yeah. Was it just me, or did I see flying bits of a Kraken just go through across the screen there? I don't know, but this is good. This is damn good. And the Phoenix is caught in my snare. Well, I'm sorry to let you down. I was really damn ecstatic to see how that played out. They had torpedoes, so they were still serious, but my opponent still has to learn the ways of the aspect. Is so it seems. And good God, is my rank going up quickly, with that said. Although I am planning on the upcoming videos to focus more on the strangle tentacles, and that's going to be a lot more complicated, and a lot more tense as a result. It just remains to be seen if I'm going to go back to the Pyroacid fleet, but damn, that is some promising results.